Hi, everybody. Stevenson, Monchery. I was just on the Leave It Better podcast, and all I gotta say is, leave it better.
Great people doing great things, in the community. So dealing with Stevenson, he's introduced me to people in the community too that are like-minded. So we have this conglomerate of people that are doing some amazing things. And here's a plug for an event that we have coming up. It Takes a Village back to school barbecue this year will be at Middletown High School, Fowler Field. We have the whole stadium. We want to tip our hat and thank the district of Middletown School District for co-sponsoring and partnering with us. Stevenson is a big part of that. We have some committee meetings that we're forming and committees that we're forming and committee meetings coming up soon. So we have a Facebook page coming up for that. It Takes a Village Barbecue August 26th. The rain date is the 27th. So look out for that. Stevenson is a huge part of that. We're trying to just bring everything together, get the families out there, fun food, school supplies,
Yes,
right, book bags. And to me, this year, even bigger. We have more space. It's more accessible. We have more activities. The district is all the way in, right? So we have sports teams that are going to be there through the district, and the little ones that get to see the older kids, and kind of, teachers and staff will be out there, administrators. So it's going to be a really, really awesome event. I'm happy to, I've been talking about that a little bit through the district. So I'm happy to get that going. Again, last year we tried to kick it off, but we didn't have a rain date. The weather was looking a little sketchy. This year we're right back to it. So that's one thing is we're never gonna not do the work. We're gonna catch up some way, somehow. Last year it was canceled due to weather, but then we brought Middletown Youth Sports. We brought about 500 book bags, which you helped with. We brought it over to the Kids Day, which the Middletown Police Department did. Their event got canceled in June, and they moved it to September. So we moved the bags there and supplies there. So we will always have outlets. That's the good thing about knowing a conglomerate of good people and good resources. You will nothing goes to waste. Right? So,
And Middletown School District, I definitely, like you said, Fox, want to shout them out because, people don't understand some of the things that's going on in the district. All the opportunities that our kids get, our scholars get in order, like college and, so many different opportunities that if you really want your kid to be successful, they will be successful, but you have to be an active parent. Mm-hmm. You have to be really intentional about some of the things that your kids do, and we have to hold not only us accountable, but hold them accountable too, mm-hmm. Because it's not always the teacher's fault. It's not always your circumstance, it's you, mm-hmm. What are we doing to really pour into our kids for them to be successful? Because the opportunities are there. It's shown, because we have so many scholars getting scholarships and, college educations already while they're in high school and have ample opportunities. But we have to be intentional about what our kids are doing and then how we are supporting them, And that's one of the big things that Fox and I are doing is really being there to support the community in whatever endeavors that they need, whether it's food disparities, whether it's needing a backpack, whether it's needing toys or a hat, gloves, scarves. We do a coat drive every year. Sometimes our kids are walking around wintertime with no coats, not because they don't want to, because we do have the teenagers who wear their hoodies all the time. But if they want a coat, if they need a coat, they need hat, gloves, our coat drive provides that for them. We do a community dinner every year, a holiday dinner. Fox does the turkeys. So we are always constantly doing things to support our community. In more ways than one, because we know if food is an issue, you can't study, you can't recall your information. If you're having a horrible home life, that also interferes with school. If you're having a horrible regular life, street life, that also interferes in school. So what we try to do is look at the whole person, the whole family, and try to support in however way we can, whether it is through sports, NYS sports, or the boxing, or like some of the other things that we're doing with food and food pantries, so on and so forth, because we know all those things impact the family. All those things kind of either helps us or hurts us. So if a parent knows that my kids are eating, then they could worry about something else. Money could go towards another bill. So all those things that we put together are there to help and support the family background. That I was that kid who relied sometimes on the Salvation Army at Christmas time, to help. So like, why do I do the things that I do? Is because I see myself in everybody that I help in the community. I'm not above anybody else, because at any given time, I could be down there, like my children kind of make fun of me a little bit. They're like, Dad, that homeless guy? Yes, I do, And why do I help him out? Because we are one paycheck away from being homeless, So why not help him out, Why not give him back a little bit, So like that coat drive, I'm not asking anybody to buy new coats. Go through your closet. All those coats that you can't fit no more, that you haven't worn in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, hey, pass it on to somebody else. How many pairs of shoes do we have that we never wear? You know what? Pass it on to somebody else. Because it may be old to you, but it's new to me.
There you go. Absolutely. That's some good stuff. I'm trying to sit here and dissect all this stuff, and like I want to get back to and reciprocate some things that you're saying. You're saying so many good things, man. You touched on my man Mitch, brother Mitch. He with his boxing program. He's on the list. He may not know it yet, but he's on the list. He's on the guest list. I have a long guest list, and he's on there. But he's also an intricate piece of this community with the outreach to the kids.
Yes.
Right, and going to within the district and reaching out to the kids. Right here, we're at 6 West Barbershop. Shameless plug. But right here downstairs, it started here, right in the basement of 6 West. And before he got with the city, he started the training here. And I've watched kids come from this basement training to go to Madison Square Garden and win, right? Yes. So it's amazing what he's doing, the outreach he's doing. Like I said, not to cut it short, but he's going to be a guest. He's going to be a guest on here. And I'll be reaching out to him. So shout out to Brother Mitch. Getting back to you, Brother Stevenson, one thing I learned over the winter, because I'm very observant, and I heard about warming stations before you got on. I'm not saying a shade towards anybody, but I didn't know about warming stations that Middletown had during the winter and the harsh months in the winter.
Well, yes, Middletown has a warming station. It opens up in mid-October-ish, early November, and it runs all the way through end of April. And what it is, it's a place where a lot of our homeless population could actually have a warm place to spend at night instead of sleeping out, on the streets and stuff like that. And what we try to do is myself and one of my colleagues, Jennifer Durning from Honor, we go there once a week and we try to see how we could help and support them. We try to figure out what are the circumstances behind them being homeless and how can we help those situations. So sometimes it's something as simple as, getting them an ID, or it could be something as, it could be a combination of things. It could be mental health. It could be that they need some medication. It could be substance use. I think sometimes a lot of our communities see our homeless population and automatically think it's substance use, but it's really not. It's a lot of mental health. Sometimes it's mental health that has gone undiagnosed. So then it's up to her and I to okay, let's set you up some appointments, so we could get those diagnoses happening and we can get you medicated so you can become a productive individual in society. Like this winter alone, we've housed over 8 to 10 people, that were previously homeless, so like that's a big, big, big situation, so and that's kudos to some of the hard work that we're doing there. We partner a lot with our Middletown Throw Library because that's another warm place that our homeless people go during the winter time that need a warm place, as well as the Salvation Army has a warm place also. So like all these entities are things that maybe the community doesn't know about, and I try to shed light on those projects that are going on. One of the biggest things that we're trying to work on right now is trying to establish a place for our homeless population to take a shower. Like how many of us, at the end of the day, a shower makes a big difference to us. A shower allows us to be human once again, and it's simple. 15, 20-minute shower could make the world of a difference to somebody, that's huge. One of the biggest things actually this year happened was I was able to help a young man out with a haircut that he hasn't had in over, I don't know how long. And his face after the haircut was just, like he brightened up. He was a different man. And shout out to Fox for setting that up, as well as Fusion Barbershop, Papito's setting up. So like I was able to get 2 people haircuts that these guys did it for free without charging them. But it made such a big difference in their life because it made them feel human again. And that's what we're trying to do is like see people as human. So like it was just, so some of those things are just so rewarding, that's why sparks you do more things, so yeah.
It's going to help more people.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I appreciate that
Yeah.
a lot.
Yep. And that's what we're trying to do is like, Fox always says many hands makes light work.
That's it.
So for me, it's not even like a heavy lift, because there are so many people that I try to get involved, all my colleagues, all the people that I know, like Fox, Fusion, the Thrower Library, all these connections that I tell Chief all the time, to me, it's not even work. It's like I'm here in the community, whether I'm working, whether I'm not working, whether I see like I'm out with my family and I see somebody in need, I'm gonna help them, I don't take off the hat just because I'm not at work, So like that human being in me is always there, is always present,
That's
So
greatly needed.
yeah.
That's a perfect, segue into that it takes a village. Like we named what we do, It Takes a Village, because it does, right? It does. I have my young man in high school. He's come up through the ranks, right? He's been in Middletown District since first grade. All his teachers, that's part of the village. Counselors, that's part of the village. Coaches, part of the village, right? Police department, that's part of the village, right? We're all part of this village, and it takes a village. You have to lean on the village. Everything he's saying is happening within our village, right? But you have to have the pieces in play to make it work. The pieces are the people that are doing the work. The many hands, that's the pieces. Stevenson, he just radiates above and beyond energy. And you can tell, right? You can tell that Magic Marv is your first time meeting him, right? And people may be asking where the name Magic Marv came from. That just happened this morning because my man makes things happen just like that out of nowhere. So I call him Magic Marv, but his name is Marv Rebel Williams. Love the last name, brother. But yeah, you just radiate above and beyond energy, and that overpromise, but over deliver. That's gonna stick with me. That's gonna stick with me. But you said something too, and you said and with intention or intentionally, and it's something I said recently as I was going through my candidacy for the board of Middletown about there's a thin line between attention and intention, right? A very thin line. And you have to seek and kind of filter out who and what is there for attention and who and what is there for with intention. And that's so important to me. I think as I got older, that's like that's a characteristic or that's something I've been able to hone in a little better and kind of navigate with just people in general, right? And I think that's the universe also that sends you to people with intention, right? Stevenson has intention. I mean, he just said he never takes his hat off, right? I'm not at work, but my hat's still on. That means something, right? So we're speaking freely. This podcast is different, right? We're all high vibration, high energy. So our conversations will go left and right, and it's all going to circle back because this is a good circle. It's a good energy circle.